What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I tell you what, I don't miss commuting to Washington, D.C. every day. I just don't. 18 miles, literally 18 miles, and I've been going for almost an hour. Pentagon's right here. Still got about 3 more miles to get to my destination, and it'll probably take another half an hour. Anyway, yesterday was amazing. If you are a Dallas YouTuber or a Dallas Cowboy writer, Arlington Cemetery's right over there, it is a plethora of stuff to talk about. Let's be clear here. The Dallas Cowboys are the off-season thing to talk about. There's always something out there that they're going to say that's going to make the news on a daily basis, even. And people are like, well, it's the off season. There's no such thing as the off season when you talk about the Cowboys. Maybe for the Jets or maybe for the Browns, there's an off season, but not when you got Steven and Jerry Jones. Going back, because there was so much yesterday that was said, it was just hard to keep up with everything in there. And one of the things that I missed, and I caught it this morning, we heard that Steven and Jerry believe that, or want to have Zeke Elliott back. They want Zeke Elliott back. The piece on it that I missed yesterday was Stephen Jones says we don't see a drop-off in what Zeke Elliott's performance is. Let's be clear here. I love Zeke Elliott, okay? Zeke Elliott has sacrificed his body unbelievably. He has done anything and everything that you have asked. The narrative of him always being in trouble, he changed that and became a solid citizen where, he's no longer TMZ star. Zeke Elliott is incredible at short yardage. You need 6 inches, he's going to get you that 6 inches. And I don't mind the concept and the idea of him coming back. We just have to look at it and say, we can't take a $16 million cap hit for a running back that's not going to be a 1,000-yard rusher. It's just not. And it's not going to fit as well with the West Coast offense. Some people said maybe he's going to be a fullback because they do use a fullback in the West Coast. I don't know. Maybe that's the plan. That's not my issue. My issue is either Stephen Jones is lying to you and saying we don't see a drop-off. We don't see a drop-off in Zeke Elliott, or he's completely incompetent. Zeke Elliott is not the same guy he was his first couple of years. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. So, Stephen Jones, I'm trying to understand where you say there's not a drop-off. Like I said, I understand you want to keep him and things, and that's cool. But don't come up with bullshit of, we got to keep him because, he hasn't had a drop-off. Now, I will say, one of the things that have done the Cowboys in over the years is the belief in our own guys. Stephen Jones says, we don't like to go out and get other guys because we believe in our own guys. And that's true to a point. But the problem is the Cowboys have this thing where they hold on to players too long, to the point where there's no trade value. There is no free agency value for getting compensatory picks. They end up basically running them where they are the most expensive, and performing the least in their career. We saw that with so many guys over and over, like Des Bryant. We signed with a big contract, which ended up being we didn't get the money back on that contract. Not even close. And we've seen that over and over and over again, where we've had Marion Barber, Jake Ratcliffe, Terrence Newman, Miles Austin, and they say, we believe in our guys. And see, I love Michael Gallup. I love Michael Gallup, but this is where they believed in Michael Gallup. They end up signing him to an extension, knowing that he was injured and not going to be able to perform the first part of the season. That's insanity. I get it. You believed in Michael Gallup. Okay. But the reality is he was injured coming back from an ACL and was not going to be available to start the season, which means he's missing all of training camp and OTAs. And herein lies the problem. People focus in and they'll say, well, Dak Prescott, he's overpaid. Well, there's a lot of guys you can look at and say, we're not getting the value out of them that the Cowboys are paying to them. And so when you look at this and say, okay, we want Zeke Elliott back, what's going to be the number? Because, we'd heard Zeke Elliott was willing to take a pay cut. Then we heard his dad say, no, he's not. Are you going to turn around and tell me that we're going to keep Zeke Elliott at the same contract? Or is this just playing politics where we're just saying, we want to tell Zeke we want him back, and the reality is we want him, if we do, we want him cheaper. I don't know. But either way, you don't like what you're hearing from Stephen Jones on that one. If he honestly believes that Zeke Elliott has not lost a step. But rolling into our nation's capital. The Lincoln Memorial. Finally, the traffic's picked up some. Yay. That would be the Lincoln Memorial for you good people, if you haven't been to Washington, D.C. before. And straight ahead behind that little building over there is actually where the Vietnam Memorial is. Vietnam Memorial is actually straight ahead. You might be able to see a little bit of the black wall. Right down there. Do that. Okay. Anyway, straight ahead down through there is where the Vietnam Memorial is. And you can see the Washington Monument a little bit there to the right, the top of it. See some school students going on a little tour. Oh, actually, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. If you look, you see the black as I go around this corner here. That down there low, right there, that's the Vietnam Memorial Wall. And it's actually very solid when you go down through there.